Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Oscar Limos. Happy to be joining you guys for another edition of College Football Picks here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. Week 11. I can't believe we're saying that. Week 11 of the college football season is here. It's upon us. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying your morning, your day thus far. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Like I said, another edition of College Football Picks coming at you here. We're on a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a hot streak, but we're getting there. We went 2-2 last week. We are now 5-3 in our last 2 weeks. We're starting to turn in the right direction after a little bit of a slower start to the show. The last couple weeks, we have really started to find our rhythm, and we're hoping to carry that momentum into today. Today's a little bit of a different show. Now, normally I give about 4 picks on each show. Today, there's a lot that I like on the board. I'm going to give you guys 6 picks here today. We're going to run through them quick. I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of analysis too much. I'm going to give you my picks, a couple extra picks today because I really like the board and I wanted to share these, and I just couldn't make a decision on which 4 picks. There's 6 picks that I really like. So you get 6 picks today, a couple extra bets. So guys, let's not waste any time. A lot of picks to get to. Let's jump right in. And guys, for my first pick, I have gone back and forth all day. I actually recorded this video this morning and then wiped it out, deleted it, started from scratch because obviously the whole Michigan stuff dropped today, the Jim Harbaugh suspension. I went back and forth with my picks and what I wanted, what I didn't want. So I ended up just deleting the whole video, and now here we are tonight, late at night, recording a new version of this with all the updated information and some of my new thoughts here. And I liked Michigan already. I like them even more now. And so for my first pick here of the slate, I'm going Michigan minus 4.5 against number 10 ranked Penn State. I like the spot already beforehand, and the Jim Harbaugh suspension does not scare me off of this at all. Actually, it makes me feel even better. I think Michigan's going to rally around this whole thing. Listen, you're going to have debates. There's going to be debates whether Harbaugh should have been suspended, whether they should have waited till after the season to make a decision on what to do with him. They ended up suspending him now. He's suspended for the final games of the regular season for Michigan. If Michigan makes the college football playoff, he'll obviously be eligible to coach and for the Big Ten championship game. So it's not like he's done for the whole year, but for the regular season for this Penn State game and the Ohio State game, some of the biggest games on Michigan's schedule, he won't be there. Look, I like this game in general. Michigan's one of the best teams in the country. J.J. McCarthy is playing himself into a top 10 draft pick. Everything about this Michigan team I love. And the thing is, I love the matchup here just because this is a Penn State team that I just don't trust. Right now, they gave Ohio State quite the challenge when they played earlier this season, but there's just something about watching the game that I'm like, okay, this Penn State team is really good, but they're not great. And since that Ohio State loss, look, they haven't lost since then, but they struggled a little bit with Indiana. And okay, they had a blowout in their last game, but I just don't trust this Penn State team. I feel like this has kind of been the story with Penn State. They're kind of like the Dallas Cowboys of college football, where it's like, they're a historic program. Their fan base wants them to be good. They're supposed to be good. They've got all this hype. They beat up on their bad opponents. It makes them look really good. And then they come in, they play a Michigan or Ohio State, or in the case of the Cowboys, right, the Eagles or the Niners, and they kind of get put in their place. And same thing with Dallas this past week with the Eagles, right? They played a good game. They still lost, and that's just kind of it's kind of the vibe with Dallas. It's kind of it's what they do. It's the trend. And I think it's very similar here with Penn State. I just don't trust Penn State here. And look, this spread opened at Michigan minus 7, and it's dropping now. The public is betting Penn State. I actually think it's better for us because I do think Michigan wins this game, and I do think Penn State will keep it close. I don't think Michigan kills them like last year when they played, and Michigan won 41-17. It's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a tight game, but I think Michigan can win by 5 or more points today. So give me Michigan here, minus 4.5. This is my lock of the week. And for my second pick, guys, we're going number 13 ranked Tennessee versus number 14 ranked Missouri. Give me the over 57.5 points. If you've been watching this show, you know I'm a very big fan of Missouri football this year. They're kind of been that team that I just love betting on and rooting for. Now, I bet on the over with them last week against Georgia, just came up shy. But that Georgia game kind of proved to me that they have the ability to score on anybody, right? They put up 21 points on a Georgia defense that is not what it used to be, but it's still pretty darn good. And so I was very impressed with that. This is a Missouri team that can score. This is a Tennessee team that can score. Both of these defenses, they're solid, but they're not great. They can give up about 30 to 35 points. This isn't LSU or USC's defense where they're getting crushed every week, but, they tend to give up some points here. And so in this matchup, we have two teams with great offenses and so-so defenses. I expect points. I do sort of like Tennessee here. I know Missouri's at home, and I just said I like betting on them. I actually do like Tennessee a little bit in this spot, but I'm staying away from the side. I like the over 57.5. These teams have consistently been hitting overs, especially this number, 57.5. I like it a lot. It's low enough. I think this game, 37-23, could be the final score. I think one team's going to score over 30 guaranteed. It's probably going to be Tennessee. I like the over here, 57.5 points. I know it is a popular bet right now. A lot of people are betting it. That doesn't scare me. I'm not going to go away from the public here. I actually think this is a bet where the public is right about it. I just like the over. I just can't see the under hitting. I think this is a great spot for the over, 57.5. That is my second pick today. Moving right along, guys, we have number 18 ranked Utah at number 5 ranked Washington, and I'm very happy that I got the opportunity to do this episode over again because originally when I recorded earlier, I got Washington at -9.5. That line has now dropped to -8, and I'm going to be honest, guys, I don't get it. I think Washington is a legit college football playoff team. They are legit one of the best teams in the country, and listen, I am not a Utah hater, but I called it a couple weeks ago when they played Oregon. It's unfortunate because a lot of it has to do with injuries to their offense, but offensively, this is not a great football team, and although defensively they're solid and they have an overall, the talent's still there to compete, I just don't trust them against top competition here. I think the same thing that happened against Oregon a few weeks ago is going to happen the same thing here against Washington. Give me Washington -8. I love the spot here for Washington. Like I said, I just really can't see a world where Washington doesn't roll this team. Michael Penix, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, a team that is trying to get into the Pac-12 championship game, that has serious college football playoff aspirations, and are right there at number 5 in the country. They're right on the outside looking in. This is a big game for them, a big game for their resume. Utah, again, solid defense. I just think offensively they don't have enough right now, and a lot of it's due to injuries. They just don't have enough right now to compete with this Washington team. And so the same things I said about this Utah team, a couple weeks ago when they played Oregon, the same thing here. I think you're going to get the same exact result. So give me here Washington -8. At least this time the number's a little bit better, right? When Oregon, I think they were only like a 3-point favorite a couple weeks ago when I bet them. Washington here at 8-point favorite sounds more accurate, and I still think they're going to cover here. Washington should win by 10 or more. So give me Washington -8. Most other weeks, number 9 ranked Ole Miss and number 2 ranked Georgia would be the best matchup of the week. This is going to be such a fun game. I am riding Ole Miss plus 10.5. Look, like I said before, Georgia, still a great team, still solid on both sides of the football, but this is not as good of a Georgia team as we've seen in years past. They're just not. And that's okay. Georgia doesn't need to be, the superstar NFL farm team for the Eagles that they've been in years past, right? Like, they're still a really good football team. They're respectable. They're number 2 ranked for a reason. They're not as battle-tested in years past. They have had a couple big wins on their resume, but even those wins, they're kind of, Kentucky's kind of fallen off a little bit. So their wins they're okay. This is a big spot for them. This is a chance for them to prove themselves, and I do think Georgia will win this game. I just don't think they're covering a spread of 10 or more points against an Ole Miss team that is firing on all cylinders right now. Georgia couldn't even cover against Missouri. Still a good football team, but they come out flat early. They put themselves in tough situations, and that does hurt, especially when you're covering a spread of 10 points or more. It makes things a little trickier. And so along with that that plus 10.5 Ole Miss bet, I'm also going with the over 58.5. Two great offenses, two defenses that are solid, but there are cracks in the armor. I think that both teams will be able to score points here. Ole Miss has the type of offense that will give Georgia's defense trouble. This is the best offense that Georgia has played and might play at least until the college football playoff or the SEC championship game. This is a legit offense, a legit team, and they're going to be challenged here. And I think Ole Miss, their defense is solid, but again, this is also their toughest test. For both of these defenses, this is the toughest test, they have faced so far this year. And I think you're going to see some points. So going with Ole Miss plus 10.5 and the over 58.5. That's 2 picks in one game. And real quick, apologies, guys, if I look I'm a little tired. Hand up, recording this at like 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday to get this ready for Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for the drop time. Great Oak Pizza, shout out Great Oak Pizza. My family, we own a pizza place in Norwich, Connecticut, right near Mohegan Sun Casino. If you're in the area, check it out. I highly recommend. Best pizza place in the area. Unfortunately, pizza life, long hours sometimes. On top of doing videos this morning, did a 12-hour workday, came home, did some more videos. So A lot of stuff going on right now, guys. So apologies if my eyes look a little red, a little tired, a little late at night, but no excuses here. I had to put a video out. I had to get you guys my picks. And so tired, no sleep, extra sleep, doesn't matter what it is. 100 pizza pies flipped, 0 pizza pies flipped, doesn't matter. I'm here to give you guys picks. So let's get into this last pick. And for my last pick, guys, we're going to LSU and Florida over 67. God, this game is going to be bad but fun at the same time. Bad in the sense that there's not going to be any defense played, maybe at all, between the two teams. However, the offense is going to be on full display. LSU is going to score probably 40, maybe even 50 points on their own here, and Florida will chip in as well. I see a lot of points. I think 67. This probably goes up to like 76, 80 points between the two teams. This is going to be just a slugfest in terms of points. I just have to bet this spot here. LSU, they have been an over-covering machine. It's because their offense is one of the best in the nation. Unfortunately, they're kind of similar to USC. In the sense that, great offense, but one of the worst defenses you've ever seen. Florida's defense isn't as bad as LSU's, but it's not very good. And offensively, they're not as good as LSU, but they have enough firepower, and they're good enough offensively to put up points to help put some value towards this total. So I like the over here, 67, LSU, Florida. I know there are better games on, and this is probably not going to be people's most watched. But if you have a chance, if you can have the multi-view, if you have YouTube TV, or whatever, however you watch your football, there's a chance to put this game on a screen or another TV. Check it out. I think it's going to be worth your time. This should be a really fun game. I'm looking forward to watching this one. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored. So make sure to check this one out. Over 67. And guys, those are my six picks for today. A lot of extra picks today. I just love this board, and I was looking through them all. I'm like, you know what? If I like all these spots, why not just give them all to you? There's no rule. This is my show. I make the rules. There's no guarantee that I have to give 4 picks. Maybe sometimes I'll give you 3 picks if I don't like a lot. Maybe I'll give you 10 picks if I love it a lot. It's my show. I'll make the rules as I see them. I liked 6 picks today. I gave you 6 picks. Hopefully we get some more wins and not as many losses. Guys, 5-3 over the last 2 weeks. I'm pretty confident that we are going to have another strong week here. But I appreciate the support, everybody. Thank you. As always, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, comment, leave all your reactions, your criticisms, whatever. You're fading me, tailing me. Leave it down below. Guys, until next week, I hope you enjoy Week 11 college football. Hope you're all winners. I'll see you next week.